What's up guys, it's Mitch here. Good to see you guys once again. Today, I am checking out the new RF lens from Canon. This is the 85mm F2 macro. Gonna be sharing with you guys my first impressions of the lens, as well as some behind the scenes footage that I was able to shoot on a portrait shoot with my friend Kat. So I've been needing a fast 85mm for quite some time now, as my old Sigma EX 85 1.4 is getting pretty old, and there's quite a lot of better options out there in terms of like focus speed, accuracy, and image quality. And I've got an RF mount camera right now, so I thought, why not invest in some RF lenses and see what all the hype is about? There's a bunch of different reasons why I would use an 85mm lens. Some of those would be getting some really nice close-up detail shots, as well as portraits when background isn't as important and you want the subject to be the main focus. So really being able to blur that background out. And an 85mm lens at a wedding is perfect because you can't always be in the action. You don't want to interrupt or be too disruptive to the events that are happening. So an 85mm lens is perfect for keeping a distance but still getting amazing photos. In another video I did, which was a 35mm versus 85mm comparison, I talked a little bit more in depth about how these two lenses complement each other and the uses. If you haven't seen that video, make sure you check it out. I'll leave it up in the top right corner of the screen. I'm going to be playing the behind the scenes footage now, so special thanks to Kat for being in front of the camera and to Carlo for filming all of this footage. Stick around to the end because I'm going to be sharing with you guys my final thoughts on the 85mm F2 and whether or not I will actually be keeping this lens. Just lean with your shoulder straight in like this, so fully on your side. Yeah. Bring one hand up to your shoulder. Just, yeah. Nice. Yeah, it's cool. Yeah, really nice. Yeah, so just stand in this little... Yeah, that's good. Yeah, I like that. That's awesome. Yeah, sick. Turn with your body a little bit more towards me. Yeah. And just look out this way. Yep, that's it. Maybe put one hand up on the wall behind you. Down your shoulder as well. Yeah. Let's see. So good. Yo, that background's sick. Take a tiny little step to your left. Yep. Just want her in the middle of that bush. Oh, this looks rad. Chin up and close your eyes. Oh, look here, look here, look here. Yo, that's so sick. Dude, I love this. Bring like one hand maybe up to your face. Yeah, that's cool. Chin up a little bit more. What's up guys, before we get back into the video, I do want to give a shout out to our sponsor for this video, which is Skillshare. Skillshare is an online learning community with thousands of inspiring classes with so much to explore, real projects to create, and the support of fellow creatives. Skillshare empowers you to accomplish real growth. One awesome class that I joined recently on Skillshare and I thought you guys would get a ton of value out of is called Still Life Photography by Dalton. In this class, Sean teaches you how to capture stunning still life scenes that tell stories. The reason I love this so much is that the ideas of composition, lighting, and styling in this class can be applied to so many other areas of photography. And I myself, after watching this class, just felt empowered and energized to get out and start creating again. The best part is that all the demonstrations and setups that Sean creates can all be done with simple settings and objects that you probably already have at home. Definitely try out Skillshare. The first 1,000 people who use the link in my description will get a free trial of Skillshare premium membership. So I'll see you guys over there. Bring your hand down a little bit. Yeah, that's it. Yeah. Yeah, lean in. That's cool. Yep. Oh, dude. So good there. Yep. And. All right. So good. So what do I think about the 85mm f2 overall after this shoot? I've got to say the one thing that did stand out to me was the overall sharpness of this lens. So corner to corner, even wide open, the sharpness on this lens is outstanding. I really can't fault it in any way. Second of all, the chromatic aberration performance on this lens is really, really good. So if you don't know what chromatic aberrations are, it's those purple and green fringes that you get on contrasty edges, usually when you're shooting wide open. So I'm happy to report on this lens, they are really, really well controlled. So focus speed is pretty good. It's definitely not slow, but it's also not the fastest lens that I've ever used. Having tested out quite a few other RF lenses, I'd have to say that there are a few that are faster than this 85mm, including the 35mm 1.8. So one thing that I did notice was that this lens wasn't as accurate at finding the eye that was closest to the camera. So with the other lenses that I've tried, it's been really great experience so far, but this lens just wasn't quite there. And I think it might have something to do with the focal length itself and not the actual lens, because on a 35mm or a 50mm, there is a little bit more of that perspective distortion, which can easily make, you know, one eye, especially if the face is turned on the side, look a lot closer than the other, whereas the 85mm sort of flattens the facial features out a little bit more. That is something that you want in a portrait lens. It didn't really affect the result that much. I still got amazing photos of Cat, but I thought it was worth mentioning. I shot the lens pretty much wide open for the majority of the shoot, and I was really happy with the autofocus background that you could get, and the bokeh looked really, really smooth and pleasing. Shooting video, the focus tracking was really, really nice on this lens. I had Cat walk towards the camera and pretty much stayed on her, kept her in focus the entire time. Another important thing to mention is the size and weight of this lens. It is small, it is compact, very good for traveling, I will say. With all that said, the golden question, will I be keeping this lens? The answer is definitely not. Probably wondering why, given I said so many nice things about it. And the truth is that this lens has one fatal flaw. I used this lens on a wedding video shoot recently, and while I was really happy with the shots that I was able to get with this lens on the day, there was one thing that will prevent me basically from using this lens in a professional setting. For video, for photos, this lens, I can recommend it definitely, but for video, I just can't recommend it. When shooting video, I've got the continuous focus turned on, as you probably should when you're shooting video. So once I've finished a shot, I will sometimes put the camera down, maybe it's by my side, maybe it's on a table, and the autofocus will continue to try and find focus somewhere. And what happens is it will try to find something in focus because it is a macro lens. When you focus this lens at those macro distances, the barrel of the lens extends out. And then when you pick up this lens to get a shot of something that's, you know, a couple of meters away, for example, it gets stuck at that minimum focusing distance. And it literally takes forever for this lens to come out of that macro mode. So if something is happening that you need to capture really quickly and you go to pick up the camera and this lens is stuck in macro mode and it's gonna take like 10 or 15 seconds for the barrel to extend back and then get to your normal regular focusing distances again, you're gonna miss that shot. I filmed a demonstration of this problem when I was on the shoot with Kat. So I focused the lens to its minimum focus distance and then I tapped on the screen to focus on Kat again. And this is how long it took the lens to go from that minimum focus distance to getting Kat in focus again. Now there are a few ways around this. The first one is to pause the Servo autofocus, which I guess you could do, but it's kind of annoying because you have to remember to pause it when you put the camera down and then unpause it when you pick the camera up again. And I've always imagined like my second shooter going to grab the camera and not knowing what is going on, and then I'd have to explain to them how to use this lens basically. And the other way that you could get around this is using the focus limiter switch. So this has one that limits the lens from 0.5 meters to infinity. But in my opinion, this doesn't really fix the problem because in my experience, even at 0.5 meters, it still takes forever for that lens to refocus. Also, I have to mention for a Canon lens, the price is amazing, under $1,000, and it's definitely worth it if you're only shooting photos. It's like 1/4 of the cost of the RF85 1.2, which is a beautiful lens, no doubt, but it is very expensive. I'd be really interested to know what you guys thought of the images and whether you'll be picking up this 85mm lens. Let me know down in the comment section below. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching and I'll see you in the next one.